Today we're in the inside of our house that's under construction, and I wanted to go through the parts of the wall framing. So the first part is the first plate, the bottom plate, the sole plate. It would have a lot of different names. Connected to the sole plate or the first plate would be common studs, and they're connected at the bottom and they run the length or the height of the building. Connected to the bottom of the first top plate. On top of that first top plate is a second top plate, and that's required for code for supporting the weight, distributing the weight between the studs. Along the window opening is this one stud here. There's two studs. One is the king stud, and next to it is the jack stud. The jack stud's connected to the king stud on the inside. The jack stud is holding up the header. So the jack stud supports the header on both sides. Now in this case, it's a narrow opening, so it's only one jack stud required. If it were a garage door opening, there would be at least two jack studs required to support the opening. On the bottom, these little things that act like studs are called cripples. So these are lower cripples on the bottom. On the top, it's going to have no cripples because it's just a solid header. If it had cripples there, they would be called upper cripples, both cripples. Sometimes people call this jack stud, they'll call it a trimmer. This is a sill trimmer, so the thing that holds the window up on the bottom is going to be a sill trimmer. There may be a trimmer on the top also, so it depends on how it's specified in the plans. You can see this has zip tape. This building has a zip system, and it has zip tape flashing the pan of the opening to keep any water that migrates in getting it out. So that's an important step. This is a vinyl replacement window, or a vinyl new construction window that's been installed. On our door, again, we have a king stud and a jack stud and a common stud directly next to it. And that has to do with the frequency of the framing. We need, in this case, we need to maintain 16-inch centers. Sometimes that's not the case. Sometimes there'll be 12-inch centers. Sometimes there'll be 16-inch centers. Sometimes there'll be 19 and 3. Sometimes there'll be 24-inch centers. It depends on how much weight, how many stories are going above it, and how the architect designed it. And above the door, you see the door opening, there is two trimmers, and then there's a header. And that jack stud holds that header up.